welcome back. Last week we finished off with setting up our structure scan with our down scan and our side scan settings. Today is sort of an extension of that, but now we're getting into the more personal customizing side of using these units. Most bass fishermen use a dual display. I've got a dual display set up here, and I'm going to show you how I like to use mine, and I'm going to explain to you why I use it like that. On my unit on my left hand side, this can be a 5, a 7, anything. 8s and 10s obviously are lovely, but this can be anything. A 5 or a 7, it's fine. This can be flush mounted in your console. What you're going to select here is you're going to select your 800 kilohertz down scan and your 50 kilohertz conventional sonar. The reason why you're going to do that and why you don't need the 200 kilohertz is because the 800 kilohertz is doing a much better job than what the 200 kilohertz is doing on bottom and structure information. So you can do away with 200 kilohertz. The other half of the screen, this is a 50-50 split, is going to be 50 kilohertz. The reason why I want to use that 50 kilohertz, going back to basics, is I want those nice big arches. I want the widest coverage area. This is why we bought these units. As fish finders, we want to find fish. We don't just want to find structure and cover, we want to find fish. And the 50 kilohertz is what's going to help us. The 800 kilohertz is still going to help us find fish, but it's going to find those fish, your bait balls, and it's going to find your fish that are in trees that you can't normally see with your conventional sonar. The reason why you can't see them with conventional sonar is because of those big arches of a tree. As you go past a tree, actually shadows away the fish in that tree, and that is why you can just look at your screen right next to it and see, okay, those aren't just branches, there's actually fish in the branches. The other screen that we're going to set up on the right hand side, this go as big as possible. This you've got to go for the biggest screen possible. If you're limited to a 7, that's fine, but preferably go for an 8 or even a 10. I love the HDS 8s in this case here, and the page selection I'm going to use is structure chart. The reason why I do that is I would like it to be just structure and charts. So I've got side scan and the charts, but they don't give us that option. So with structure chart, I minimize the down scan side of the screen because I've got that covered by my left hand unit. So right at the top of the page, I just need a thin band so I can see what's happening to the left and the right of the boat, whereas the main section of my screen is covering my charts. So I know where the structure is, I know where the contours are, I can see my icons of trees, of sunken boats, and of course my icons of where I've actually caught fish. Now we've got the unit set up. The pages are set up exactly how we want it. The last thing we want to put over here now is our overlay data. We're going to talk about that next week. So see you then.